What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley and welcome back to another weekly watch list video. In this series, I share with you the stocks that are at the top of my watch list going into the week ahead. So if you get any value from that, remember to click that like and subscribe button and let's jump right in. Okay, so starting off by taking a look at our indices, this is just going to give us a kind of broad market overview of how the markets are doing as a whole before we dive into individual companies. This is the NASDAQ index right now, and as you can see, we basically broke through this double top that was sitting here at 14,200. We are now at 14,400. We set an all-time high at 14,414, and the NASDAQ is looking like it's got some strength. We did have some higher volume on Friday, but we were able to basically break through that previous resistance, which is a very bullish sign. It's definitely a good sign, and it's showing some strength there. Now, when we look at the S&P 500, you can see that we also set an all-time high in the S&P 500 this week as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. 4,286 points. Really nice to see. And when you look at the Dow Jones, I pointed this out last week, so I was a little worried. I said, hey, we've had like 2 red weeks in the Dow Jones. If this continues, it's not going to be very good. But we are coming towards kind of a long-term trend line right here. And what was nice to see is that this week we saw a very clean bounce off that trend line, and we saw some strength in the Dow Jones as well. So overall, it was a very good week for the markets pretty much everywhere. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it was an okay week. It actually wasn't that great. You can see that we are now trading at about $31,000 USD. We've tested this $30,000 level several times now, once basically this morning. So not a great sign from Bitcoin. It is looking fairly bearish. And the thing that a lot of analysts have pointed out recently is this crossover right here. This is our moving averages. I believe this is the 50 and 200 day moving average. I'll have to double check that. But this is the moving averages crossing over in a bearish direction. That's referred to as the death cross, and that's basically a long-term bearish signal. Now, it doesn't mean that the Bitcoin can't recover, and it doesn't mean Bitcoin isn't going to come back. But in the long run and in the long term, that is not a very good technical sign. Now, when we look at earnings coming up this week, not very many big names. We've got Bed Bath & Beyond, Constellation Brands, and Micron Technologies. A couple other small companies, H&M, but nothing too major here. Now, let's dive into a couple of companies that are at the top of my watch list this week, starting with Alibaba. As you can see, I actually took a position in this company on Thursday. That little green arrow there is my position. And on Friday, I think we were up by like 3 or 4%, so that was really nice to see. We've got a good start to that position, and I don't think it's too late for Alibaba. I think this was even more confirmation of a trend change. As you can see, we broke out of the oversold zone of our RSI. We had a crossover of the MACD. We also had increasing volume on Thursday and Friday. The price broke through our 2 moving averages here after bouncing off of support at $210 like 2 or 3 times in here. So all of the indicators are there, all of the technical analysis there. If you do the fundamental analysis on Alibaba, the company looks great as well. The long-term growth is amazing, and the company is absolutely massive in Asia right now. So in all of the world, actually. And so I think this is a really good company to hold long term. I also think there's an excellent swing trading opportunity here, because I think we have major support between 205 and 210 right here. You're only at 228 right now, and I think you've got more than enough room to kind of go to that 270, 280 level before you hit some major resistance. As long as we can break through this little hump here at 240, should be absolutely fine. Now, the next company that I really like right now is Manulife Financial. Now, I pointed this company out last week, and they pretty much traded horizontal for Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday they had a really nice green day, and it looks like it's bouncing off support. Now, I zoomed out on this one because this support line looks like it's going to be going back to like almost a year back. So we got our low at $12.58. We had another low here right around $18, and as you can see, we hit a high of $28 here, which was also resistance back at the beginning of 2020. We hit the same level of resistance. We have now come back down to a previous level of support, and this level of support is also the exact same level at where we would expect our long-term support trend line to be. And so I'm super interested in this $24 level of support for Manulife Financial. If we see Monday, Tuesday, this stock continuing the bullish momentum, I think this is going to be a fantastic opportunity to ride it back up to 28. And if we can break through 28, you hold it long term, because it also gives you a phenomenal dividend. Next company I want to point out to you is Palo Alto Networks. This is a cybersecurity company, and this has been a hot topic lately because of the Colonial Pipeline, as well as a couple other big name cyber hacks that have taken place just in the last few months. Palo Alto Networks helps deal with these issues, and as you can see here, I would call this an ascending wedge. We've got several different tests of this $370 price level here. It has acted as resistance once right here at the end of April, once again here at the end of May, and again throughout June. It looks like we're coming to the end of this triangle because we have multiple higher lows right here, and it looks like we're basically coming to the point of this triangle. And so what I am watching for is the break above this kind of 380 level. If we can break above 380 on Monday and Tuesday, I want to see it go back up to at least 400, and I do think it has a great opportunity to go higher than that because cybersecurity is only becoming a larger and larger problem around the world, and it represents a greater market opportunity for Palo Alto Networks. Now, the next company I want to point out to you is Nano. This is a Canadian graphene company. I'm a huge fan of the graphene industry, but it is kind of a tricky industry to understand and get your hands on. But I really like this company. They're Canadian, and they actually just signed a major deal to supply graphene to a steel maker in South America. And this is a very large company. It's a pretty large deal, and that announcement has caused the stock to basically skyrocket over the last few days. You can see the volume increase right here. You can see a crossover of the moving averages. We have broke through our trend line right here. We got a crossover in the MACD. We have exited the oversold zone of our RSI. We're actually starting to enter the overbought zone of our RSI. So what I am watching for is I would like to see a breakthrough this 486 level because we're almost there right now, but I do think it could act as some resistance. If we can break through that, I do think long term, this is the first company that I've seen able to secure a very large contract with a large manufacturer for their product. So I think this is just a great opportunity. Now, the next company I want to point out to you is MercadoLibre. I took a position in this company as well. You can see that little green arrow right there. We're doing pretty good on it. We're up a couple percent right now. And the reason I took a position in this company is because we broke through our trend line right there. We double tested this basically 1250 level right here a couple of times, as well as back here in the year before, and it was starting to break out. We now have a crossover of our moving averages. We have some positive momentum right here. It does look like it could start to tail off, but if you can see it break through this 1650, 1640 level, I think it's got lots of room to run back up to around 2000. So that's what I'm watching for. If we can see a clean breakthrough here and continuation of this trend, I'll probably be adding to that position. Now, the next company I want to point out to you is a psychedelic company. This company is really interesting to me because they've put out some great news over the last little while. They actually had a clinical result come back, so that's been a big catalyst for the stock recently, and we are actually now breaking through previous highs and all-time highs right now. And so this is really, really exciting because this is a very clear breakout. We have a catalyst. We have a crossover of the MACD here. We're starting to see increased volume right now. We are in the overbought zone of our RSI. So what I would like to see is just a small pullback to support. If we see that support is solid and it starts to move up off of support, that's probably when I'd buy in, unless it just continues with strong momentum Monday, Tuesday. That would also be the play because I do think there's a great opportunity in the psychedelic space, and I think there's a couple of companies that are going to emerge at the top of the pack, and I do think Cybin could be one of them. Now, the last company that I want to point out to you is Schroeder. I actually got into this company right here around like 57, 60, 62, something like that. I bought the options in it. I wrote it back up to around right here, and I sold out for a 63% profit because I was expecting some resistance around the $80 level. That's exactly what we can see. As you can see, we've basically traded sideways for the last sort of week or two. But what I am watching for now is for Schroeder to break through $80. If we can break through this previous resistance level right here, I think this stock has a whole lot of opportunity. We also saw increased volume on Friday, which is a great sign. And if you want to see that trade that I made on this stock, you can definitely check out the video. I'll throw it up right here right now. That's what the thumbnail looks like. Now, my goal for this week, and the stocks that are at the top of my watch list: Manulife Financial, Alibaba, Palo Alto Networks, and Schroeder if we can break through that $80 level. Now, I am also keeping an eye on big tech. I did take a couple positions in Apple, Amazon, Shopify last week, and they are all starting to turn around. So I'm keeping an eye on those ones. I might have to make an early exit, but I am very excited because so far they're all doing well on the positions that I took just a week ago. Now, there are some companies out there that are very expensive. I completely agree with some of the sentiment out there and some of the analysis, but I also think there's a lot of companies out there that are very cheap right now. I especially think Alibaba might be one of those those companies. So if you're looking for a long-term growth company, or even if you're just looking for a swing trade, I think Alibaba could be an opportunity for you. Now, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about finding companies like this, doing your own technical analysis, and learning how to get in and out of those positions, then you should definitely consider signing up for my stock market fundamentals course. It is completely free and it's hosted on Skillshare, where you get a 2-week free trial when you use the link in the description to this video. There you can do my course. It's 9 hours long. There's over 1 million minutes of watch time. 6,000 students have gone through the course, and there's 260 reviews for you to take a read through so you can get a good idea of what it's like before you basically commit to anything. Now, it's hosted on Skillshare. Like I said, 2-week free trial. So if you can do the 9-hour course, you get the entire thing completely free. Definitely check it out. The links are down below. And if you get any value out of this video, remember to click that like and subscribe button. I sincerely appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck trading. Good luck investing. Talk to you soon.